The sun sinks low. It bleeds red behind the trees. The woods grow dark, very dark. Shadows stretch long and thin. They twist like grasping fingers. Every tree becomes a hungry shape. Every bush hides something watching. The path you thought you knew, it disappears, swallowed by the growing gloom. You are alone. Or are you? The wind whispers secrets through the leaves. Secrets you don't want to hear. A chill creeps into the air. It is not the chill of evening. It is something else. Something colder. It settles deep in your bones. Goosebumps rise on your arms. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You tell yourself it is just the night, just the woods. But your heart pounds a frantic drum. Thump, thump, thump. The silence between the rustles is heavy. Too heavy. It presses down on you, suffocating. People say these woods are old, ancient. You stumble through the darkness, lost, cold. Hope begins to fade, like the last rays of sunlight. You think you will never see dawn, never feel warmth again. This forest will be your grave, this darkness your shroud. You are ready to give up, to sink to the forest floor, to let the cold take you. And then you see it, a tiny speck of light, far away. It flickers, it sways. It is not a star, it is not a house light. It moves, as if someone is carrying it. A lantern perhaps, a small dim lantern, held by a steady hand, or maybe not so steady. It dances among the trees, disappearing, reappearing. Closer now, or further away? It is hard to tell in the disorienting blackness, but it is there, a light. In the small towns that border these old woods, the old folks talk. They talk in hushed tones, when the nights are long, and the wind howls outside. They tell stories, stories to make children behave, stories to make travelers wary. They warn you. Don't go into those woods after dark, they say, and if you see a light, don't follow it, ever. They call him the Lantern Man. He is a legend, a ghost story, a nightmare made real. He walks the lonely paths of the forest. He has walked them for years beyond counting. No one knows his real name, no one knows where he came from, or why he stays. He is a fixture of the darkness, a silent, solitary figure, defined only by the light he carries. Some say he was a pioneer. 4 friends went hiking, young and full of laughter. They thought they knew the trails. But the woods are tricky. The sun dipped lower than they expected. Shadows grew long. Laughter died. They were lost. Panic began to claw at their throats. The familiar forest transformed. It became a menacing alien place, each tree a silent accuser, each rustle a hidden threat. Then, through the deepening gloom, they saw it, a light, a single flickering light, winding through the trees. Hope flared, relief washed over them. Someone else was out here, a ranger perhaps, or another group of hikers. They shouted, they waved their arms. The light paused. It seemed to wait for them, as if acknowledging their calls, beckoning them forward. They pushed through the undergrowth. Section 5, A Boy's Fear, the Campfire Story. Old Man Hemlock lived by the woods. He knew their secrets, or some of them. He was a figure of mystery, a man who seemed to have one foot in the world of the living, and the other in the realm of the unknown. One night, around a sputtering campfire, he told his story. The flames flickered, casting eerie shadows on the trees, as if the forest itself was listening. His voice was a low rumble, like distant thunder. It resonated with a gravity that made everyone lean in closer, hanging on his every word. His eyes, usually twinkling, were wide and dark. They seemed to hold the weight of countless untold stories, each more haunting than the last. He said he saw the Lantern Man when he was just a boy, no older than 10. The memory was etched into his mind, as vivid as the night it happened. And he never forgot it. Not one detail. The fear, the wonder, the inexplicable pull of that mysterious light. It was all still there, as clear as day. He was with his father, deep in the woods, checking their trap lines. It was a routine they knew well, but that night, everything changed. A sudden storm blew in, fierce and unexpected. The wind howled through the trees and the sky darkened ominously. Rain lashed down and the sky turned black as ink. It was as if the heavens had opened up, unleashing their fury upon the earth. Night fell like a stone. They lost their bearings. The familiar paths were swallowed by the darkness, leaving them disoriented and vulnerable. They were cold, wet, and scared. The boy's teeth chattered, and his clothes clung to him like a second skin. His father tried to stay calm, but the boy could feel his fear. It was a palpable thing, a shadow that loomed over them both, a cold knot in his stomach. Then the light appeared. It was unlike anything he had ever seen, both mesmerizing and terrifying. A soft yellow glow swinging gently between the trees. It moved with an almost hypnotic rhythm, beckoning them closer. "Don't look at it, son," his father whispered, his voice harsh, urgent. "Don't follow it, whatever you do." The boy wanted to. The light seemed to promise warmth and safety, a beacon in the storm. The light was so inviting, so promising in the cold, wet darkness. It was like a siren's call, almost impossible to resist. But his father's grip on his arm was like iron. He held him fast. The boy could feel the strength and desperation in that grip, a silent plea to stay safe. They built a small, smoky fire. It was a feeble attempt to ward off the darkness, but it was all they had. The light of the fire flickered weakly, a fragile barrier against the unknown. The light of the lantern man is not like other lights. It is not warm. It does not offer comfort. Instead, it chills the soul and fills the heart with dread. It is a strange light, an unholy light. It casts long, dancing shadows that seem to have a life of their own. These shadows writhe and twist, mocking the shapes of trees and creating monsters in the periphery of your vision. They play tricks on your mind, making you question what is real and what is illusion. Few have seen the lantern up close and lived to tell the tale. Most who follow its beckoning call simply vanish, swallowed by the woods and the night. But some have escaped or perhaps been allowed to escape. They speak in hushed, trembling voices, their eyes forever haunted by what they have seen. They say the lantern itself is ancient, made of dark, rusted metal. Its glass panes are dirty, obscured by years of grime and something else, something unidentifiable. The flame within is the strangest part. It burns without fuel, without a wick. It is a cold flame, a dead flame. Sometimes it glows a sickly, pale yellow, casting an eerie light that seems to draw you in, even as it repels you. Those who have seen it up close describe an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the lantern itself is alive and watching them. They say the light of the lantern man is a beacon for lost souls, a trap for the unwary. It is a light that promises safety but delivers only despair. So beware the unholy light of the lantern man, for once you see it, you may never escape its grasp, or if you do, you will be forever changed, haunted by the memory of that cold, dead flame. They speak in hushed, trembling voices, their eyes forever haunted. They say the lantern itself is ancient, made of dark, rusted metal. Its glass panes are dirty, obscured by years of grime and something else. The flame within is the strangest part. It burns without fuel, without a wick. It is a cold flame, a dead flame. Sometimes it glows a sickly pale yellow. The one who carries the lantern man himself. He is a figure of shadow and dread, always seen from a distance, or in fleeting glimpses. Tall, impossibly tall, and gaunt, as if stretched by the years, or by hunger. His form is usually obscured, by the darkness he commands, by a long dark coat, or a wide-brimmed hat that hides his face. He never speaks. No words of comfort, no threats, no sounds at all, except perhaps the faint rhythmic creak of the lantern, as it swings by his side, and the soft, almost inaudible crunch of his footsteps. If he even has feet. Some say he glides, drifting through the undergrowth, leaving no trace, no broken twigs, no footprints in the mud. Only the eerie light precedes him. Why does he do it? Why does he lead people astray? What does he want? These questions echo in the fearful whispers. Some believe he feeds on lost souls. When the lantern man is near, the forest changes. It holds its breath as if anticipating something dreadful. The usual night sounds die away, swallowed by an unnatural silence. No crickets chirp their songs, their melodies lost in the oppressive quiet. No frogs croak in the damp places, the owls fall silent, their hunting calls unheeded, as if the very air has been stilled. Even the wind seems to hush, its whispers silenced. An unnatural stillness descends, blanketing the forest, a heavy, oppressive quiet that screams of unseen danger, a foreboding that chills the soul. It is a silence filled with listening. Animals sense him first, their instincts screaming of the approaching peril. Deer freeze, their ears twitching, then they bolt, their hooves pounding the earth as they vanish into the deeper shadows, seeking refuge from the unseen menace. Rabbits cower in their burrows, trembling. Foxes abandon their hunt, their keen senses alerting them to the danger. They know, they feel the ancient presence, a force that has haunted these woods for centuries. The cold dread that walks with him, a chilling aura that permeates the air. The forest itself seems to shrink away, its life force dimming in the face of such an old and patient evil. Its life force dimming in the face of such an old and patient evil, a presence that has seen countless seasons pass. People who live near the edges of these woods, they know the signs too. They know the signs too. The sudden, bone-chilling cold that seeps into their bones. Even on a summer night when warmth should reign, the cold is unmistakable. The way the shadows seem to deepen, growing darker and more menacing, to crawl towards their homes as if drawn by an unseen force. The profound silence that settles over the land. They lock their doors, hoping to keep the darkness at bay. The stories of the Lantern Man are old, very old, passed down through generations, but they are not just stories, they are not just campfire tales. Every few years the woods claim someone who wanders too far, someone who stays out too late. They vanish without a trace, as if the earth itself has swallowed them whole, leaving nothing behind. Search parties comb the area. They find a dropped hat, a forgotten map, sometimes a single shoe, but never the person. The forest guards its secrets well, and the Lantern Man. He is its most patient guardian. He leaves no clues, he makes no mistakes, he simply waits, and watches, and sometimes he chooses. He chooses someone to follow his light. He is still out there, tonight, tomorrow night, for all the nights to come. He walks his lonely paths.